delete button if it... Usually I like to leave the things sit for a while and then can trim them. I sat the piece on and I tried to eye it up that it's relatively well centered. What I had done earlier was to take, just like this was cut from underneath, once it stiffened up, I put another bat on top, flipped them both over, and that's how this is in the position that it's in right now, flipped over and ready to trim, hopefully. Give me a couple wads of clay. And another thing I have to do here, I'm just holding my finger steady, and the side of the pot is nicking into there just a little bit, so I'm moving it away from there. So that should be pretty good now. It seems like it's running pretty true. On four points here opposite each other, putting them on at the same time so I'm not pressing it and maybe moving the piece off of center. Try that brown handled trimming tool there, probably.
I'm here.
I know, huh? Usually I'm right beside those things. This is a metal loop tool, and it, if held at the proper angle and things, starts to trim sort of ribbon of clay away. And again, that's why we had to center this piece. And what I'm going to try to do, I've remembered the profile, the curve on the interior of the bowl, and I'm going to try to trim so that eventually there'll be a nice consistent thickness of the wall of the piece. We had to leave some clay here when we were when this was flipped over and we were cantilevered out with the clay very wet and weighting down on itself. So that clay that was here helped for it to support itself, but now we can trim it away. It's stiffer and it's in good shape to be able to trim that clay away. Now the angle that you hold this, I'm holding back, and of course the clay is flowing through, and there is a sharp edge here that's cutting into the clay, and if you're too shallow it's going to sort of skip and chatter. If it's too deep you might dig in and the whole piece could get thrown off the wheel or dig into it. So you have to sort of experiment with just what is the right angle to be able to do what you need to do to trim that clay away. That's another reason why I like that nice gradual curve on the inside, is that I know that if I start here and just follow that curve, I'm probably going to be able to trim it to a nice consistent thickness. If I had some sort of convoluted form, I just wouldn't know exactly where and how to trim and at what angle, so that nice gradual curve helps in that respect too. Now I'm going to start to cut what's called the foot rim.